Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to discuss my Read Christie 2023 pile of possibilities. Read Christie is a year-long reading challenge that's been going on for several years now, though this is my first year participating. Basically, the challenge is trying to get you to read one Agatha Christie book every month. This year's theme is motives and murders, so every month the theme for that month will be either a method of murder or a motive for murder, and you're supposed to find an Agatha Christie book that includes that method or motive. Every month there is a group read, which if you choose to read that book, then there will be a discussion at the end of the month which you can participate in, but they also provide alternative recommendations if you're not interested in the group read, you already read it, something like that. I am calling this my pile of possibilities because there are some months I'm not sure what I'm going to read yet. I have a couple different options. Also, I will say I don't think I'm going to be reading a book for January. I just don't think I'm going to have time. So I'm not technically completing the challenge, but 11 Agatha Christie books in 1 year, that's still a lot. Now with this challenge, I wanted to, whenever possible, prioritize Agatha Christie books I already own. I have made it a goal to read every mystery Agatha Christie has ever written, and I've been working my way through all of her books, not in chronological order, but since I do plan to read all of them, I'm now attempting to do it in some semblance of chronological order, but I'm not committing myself to reading every single one in the exact order. I'm just sort of, reading books from early on in her career before I tackle the ones from later in her career most of the time. I don't know if that made sense. But the good news is the February and March group read picks are both books that I already own, so I think I'm definitely going to be reading these two. One of them I haven't even hauled yet, so spoiler alert for my upcoming book haul. But in February, the prompt is Blunt Object, and the group read for that is Partners in Crime, the second Tommy and Tuppence book. This is a short story collection following Agatha Christie's team of married sleuths, Tommy and Tuppence. I really loved the first book in this series, The Secret Adversary. It was just very lighthearted, fun, and I loved the little banter and dynamic between Tommy and Tuppence, so excited to read this collection in the month of February. Then for the month of March, the prompt is Anger, and the group read for that month is The Moving Finger. This is one of the Miss Marple mysteries, and I will be reading this for the month of March. Limestock is a town with more than its share of scandalous secrets, a town where even a sudden outbreak of anonymous hate mail causes only a minor stir. But all that changes when one of the recipients, Mrs. Symington, dies. Her final note says, "I can't go on," but Miss Marple questions the coroner's verdict of suicide. Soon, nobody is sure of anyone, as secrets stop being shameful and start becoming deadly. I should also mention that this year I'm hoping to make some more trying to solve Agatha Christie videos. I made two previously, one for Murder at the Vicarage and another for Lord Edgware Dies. I love making these videos where I try to guess the murderer in Agatha Christie's novels. So if you have read some of these books in my pile of possibilities, do let me know in the comments section, without spoiling anything, which ones do you think would be a good fit for one of those videos? Which ones do you think I should try to solve? Then for April, the prompt is Poisoning, and I've decided to deviate from the group read for this month because I do own an Agatha Christie book that I know involves poisoning. The Pale Horse. This is a standalone, I believe, with a bit of a supernatural element, I guess. I heard that this deals a lot with the occult, but one thing I know about this book is that it deals with thallium poisoning. I actually remember a while ago I was watching an episode of like Dateline or 2020 or something, and it was talking about thallium poisoning, and I learned after watching that and learning a little more about thallium poisoning that there was actually a case somewhere in the world where a nurse was treating a man with thallium poisoning, and she was able to realize that's what it was because she had been reading The Pale Horse by Agatha Christie. So this book literally saved a life. I believe this book was also made into a mini-series within the last few years, so if that is available to stream, I believe it might be on Amazon Prime. I think it would be a lot of fun to read this book and then watch the adaptation afterward. Now for May, the prompt is Betrayal, but the group read for that month has not been announced yet. I'm really not sure what I'm going to read for the month of May because I think it's hard to know if a book has betrayal or not when you haven't read it yet, so I am going to wait to see what the group read is and what other suggestions there are for that month. If you have any suggestions for a great Agatha Christie book featuring a betrayal of some kind, do let me know in the comments without spoiling any major elements of the plot. Then for the month of June, the prompt for that month is Gunshot, and I have at this point in time 2 books that I am considering for this month. First, the Seven Dials mystery. I saw in the Goodreads reviews people reference that someone is shot in this book, so I think it should work for the prompt. The Seven Dials mystery is one of Agatha Christie's books featuring the character of Superintendent Battle of Scotland Yard, and this book features the character of Lady Bundle Brent, who appeared in the first Superintendent Battle book, The Secret of Chimneys. I really thoroughly enjoyed The Secret of Chimneys. Was it the most mind-blowing mystery ever? No, but I thought it was so much fun to read. The characters were really delightful, the dialogue was witty, and I had a few chuckles along the way as we were trying to unravel the mystery. I would definitely love to read another book featuring Lady Bundle to see what she gets up to in this book. I also considered selecting Murder in the Mews, which is a short story collection. I believe all of the short stories in this collection feature Poirot, but I could be wrong. Another spoiler alert for my upcoming book haul that I'm going to film soon. I, for Christmas, received the entire Poirot short stories bind up, so I have all of those on hand. Looking on Goodreads, it seems that 2 of the stories in this collection involve a death by gunshot, so I think this would also work for this month's prompt. Then for the month of July, the prompt is Love and Lust. This month I am also going to be reading the group read, which is Evil Under the Sun. This is one of the Poirot novels, and I've actually already read this book before. However, I want to read it again because I really don't remember it. I remember that I liked it. I think I gave it 4 stars, but I really don't remember what happened in it. I don't remember the characters, and I don't remember who the murderer was. So I'm hoping to refresh my memory, and then I will have a better idea where it stands in my developing Agatha Christie rankings. I would like to make a video where I rank the Agatha Christie books that I have read so far, and in order to make that video, I need to be able to remember all of the Agatha Christie books that I've read, and I don't remember this one. I liked it, but I don't remember what happened in it. Then for August, the prompt is Fall from a Height, and I believe I will be reading the group book for this as well. It's another one that I haven't read yet, but I am really interested in. Death Comes as the End. This is a standalone mystery by Agatha Christie, and it's very different from all of her other books because this is actually a historical mystery. This book is actually set in ancient Egypt. I believe it follows one family and they slowly start dying. It says in the Goodreads description that one person does die from falling from a height, is seemingly pushed off a cliff, so it works for this prompt, and I am interested to read this because I love historical mysteries, and I've never read a mystery set in ancient Egypt before. It's not something that I know a whole lot about, and I think this just sounds like it could be really fun. For the month of September, the prompt is hatred, and the group read for this month is going to be Appointment with Death. I believe this is another Poirot mystery. I really don't remember what it's about, but I have not read this one yet, so I could join in with the group read. But I think this month I might read Halloween Party. This is a Poirot mystery, and the reason I want to read this one is because it is going to be adapted into a film. This will be the next film in the Poirot series starring Kenneth Branagh. Though they're calling the film A Haunting in Venice, this book is not set in Venice. I don't know if the film will be like the book, but just in case it is, I figured I should read the book before I go to see the film because I don't want to spoil it for myself by watching the film first. I believe the film comes out in late September, so I really need to read the book before I go to see it. I wish they had announced they were adapting Halloween Party before Halloween 2022 had passed, because then I could have read it at Halloween. That would have been a lot of fun, but unfortunately, I didn't know this was going to be the next film until after Halloween had already passed, which means I have missed my chance to read Halloween Party at Halloween. Does this book involve hatred or not? I honestly don't know, but I need to read it before I go to see the film, so I'm thinking September is probably my best chance to read this book. Maybe it doesn't fit the prompt, maybe it does, but I might read it anyway. So for October, the prompt is stabbing, and what I have written down as a possibility for this month is the short story collection The Underdog and Other Stories. I saw on Goodreads that two of the stories, The Plymouth Express and The Affair at the Victory Ball, both include stabbing, so I think it would work for this prompt. And like I said, I just got this Poirot short story collection bind up, so that would be a good thing to read. Then for November, the prompt is greed. Again, it's kind of hard to come up with possible reads for a motive because when you haven't read the book, you don't know what the motive is. But I did a little digging on Goodreads and I have a couple possibilities. First of all, the group read for November is going to be Endless Night. This is another standalone, I believe, and I don't really remember what the plot is, but I have heard people say this is one of their favorites. I believe it kind of has a dark, almost like gothic-y atmosphere. It's a little different from Agatha Christie's other books, but I have heard positive reviews about it. I am also considering The Mystery of the Blue Train. This is another Poirot from very early on in the series, and 11 reviews on Goodreads mentioned greed in them, so I think this could work. This is set on a train in France, and I believe the murder victim had some very valuable jewels, so that might possibly tie into the motive for the murder. Again, it's really hard to say if this will fit the prompt or not because I haven't read the book. I don't know what the motive for the murder was, but considering multiple people mentioned greed in their reviews, I do think this plays a part. And finally, for December, the prompt is strangulation. And what I am considering for this month is The Man in the Brown Suit. This is another standalone Agatha Christie from early on in her career. I believe the character of Colonel Race pops up in this book. He is a character who appears a few times, including in the Poirot stories Cards on the Table and Death on the Nile. It mentions on Goodreads that in this book a dancer is strangled, so I think it should work for the prompt and I really want to read this one because one, I own it, and two, so many people have told me they think I am going to like it. I'm very excited about this book. This book follows this young woman named Anne Bedingfield, who is a plucky heroine like you see in many Christie novels. One day she sees a man die at a London tube station, and though Scotland Yard says the death was a suicide, Anne is not convinced because after the man's death she saw a mysterious man in a brown suit appear and examine the body. He fled but left behind a mysterious note, so Anne wonders who was this man in the brown suit. So everyone, those are some of the books I am considering for the Read Christie 2023 prompts. I have not locked in anything yet, so I definitely might change my mind, but I am very excited to participate this year and hopefully read lots of delightful Christie mysteries. If you have recommendations for some of these prompts, do let me know in the comments. Again, being careful not to spoil anything. And do let me know which of these books you think would be a good fit for a trying to solve Agatha Christie video. I hope you enjoyed. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. My social media links are in the description if you want to follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, or be my friend on Goodreads. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you next time.